Asia, a student at the Faculty of Law, University of August 17, 1945, Surabaya, with student ID number 1,312,500,004. The Norwegian Constitution, adopted in 1840, is one of the oldest constitutions still in force. It was influenced by Enlightenment ideals, including separation of power and protection of individual rights, not purely the ideological, but often represented political compromise. Over time, Norway has developed into a highly democratic state, yet certain provisions, such as Article 5, remain unchanged in substance, raising questions about their compatibility with modern constitutional values. Article 5 states that the king's person sacred. He cannot be censured of accused. Responsibility lies with his council. The provision contains two key ideas. One, the king is legally immune from accountability. Two, political responsibility is transferred to government officials. This structure effectively separates symbolic authority from political accountability. However, it also creates legal exception within the constitutional system. From a modern constitutional perspective, Article 5 presents a significant tension. First, the idea that a person is sacred and cannot be held accountable is fundamentally incompatible with principle of equality before the law. In democratic system, no individual should be above the law, regardless of their position. The use of the term sacred is particularly problematic. It reflects a pre-modern conception of authority, where rules were seen as divinely legitimate. In a contemporary legal system, such language appears outdated and difficult to justify normatively. Second, the transfer of responsibility to the council raises questions about accountability. While it ensures that governmental actions remain subject to control, it also creates a legal fiction. The king formally holds power, but cannot be held responsible for its use. This separation may work in practice, but it weakens the clarity of the constitutional responsibility. In theory, authority and accountability should be eligible. When they are separated, it can absolve who is truly responsible for state action. However, more nuanced view is necessary. In practice, the King of Norway does not exercise independent political power. The role is legally ceremonial and decisions are made by elected officials. Therefore, the immunity granted by Article 5 does not result in unchecked power. That leads to a more critical observation. Article 5 persists not because it is functionally necessary, but because it is politically and culturally tolerated. In other words, its survival reflects constitutional inertia rather than normative justification. The provision remains because it does not create immediate problems, not because it aligns with modern democratic theory. This raises a deeper question. Should constitutional provisions be maintained simply because they are harmless, or should they be reformed to reflect consistent democratic principles? In contrast, Indonesia adopted a fundamentally different approach. The 1945 Constitution emphasized that all citizens are equal before the law. There is no concept of a sacred or legally immune head of state. Even the president, as the highest executive authority, can be held accountable through constitutional mechanisms such as impeachment. They reflect a stronger commitment to the principle of accountability. Authority is directly linked to responsibility, and no position is placed beyond legal scrutiny. However, Indonesia's system also faces practical challenges. Legal accountability does not always translate into effective enforcement. Political dynamic and power concentration can limit the comparison, highlight an important distinction. 1. Norway maintain a formally inconsistent provisions but achieve strong democratic practice. 2. Indonesia adopt a formally consistent framework but still face challenge in implementation. In conclusion, Article 5 of the Norwegian Constitution represent a constitutional anomaly in a modern democratic system. The idea of a sacred and unaccountable monarch is difficult to reconcile with contemporary principles of equality and rule of law. While its practical impact is limited, its symbolic meaning remains problematic. From a critical perspective, the continued existence of this provision suggests that constitutional systems are not always driven by pure logic, but also by history, culture, and political compromise. In comparison, Indonesia offers a more normatively consistent model by rejecting legal immunity for its head of state. However, the effectiveness of this model depends on the strength of its institutions. Ultimately, this analysis shows that the legitimacy of a constitutional system depends not only on its formal provision but also on how those provisions are interpreted and implemented in practice. And that's all for me. Sorry and thank you.